Hello and welcome. My name is Kate Marand. I'm a program manager at DC's Department of Small and Local Business Development, the program manager for Innovation and Equitable Development Division. Today, we are incredibly excited to have with us our partners at ICIC, as well as Kaiser Permanente, to talk about a wonderful opportunity for DC entrepreneurs. It is a partnership that we have had for multiple years, thinking about how to get DC entrepreneurs into the ICCC program, the Inner City Capital Connections program. It is a wonderful opportunity for DC entrepreneurs to go through executive coaching, to get additional assistance, and to help grow. And with that, we want to make sure that we do an information session. It's going to be coming up later this year, but you can start applying now. We're going to learn all about the application for how, we're going to learn about why, and if you are someone who supports entrepreneurs, we're going to learn how you can refer people to this program as well. It'll be kicking off in September, but the application period is this summer, and so we want everyone to know about it. And so within that, I think I'm going to be doing an introduction first to Anna Marie at ICIC. So I'm going to turn things over to Anna Marie Cruz.
Kate, thank you so much, and thank you for organizing this event. And we know that everyone is very busy these days, so we appreciate you making time. And if you're watching this video, thank you for taking the time to learn about this program and also learn about what impact the small businesses have had in our community, particularly in the DC and broader region in the DMV. So our goal today is, of course, to ensure that you do know about the program, you know about upcoming dates and the process, and also we have a chance to get to know some of the folks in the room. So with that, I'd actually like to introduce our longtime partner in the DC region, who makes this program not only possible in terms of getting this out in the community, but also ensures that it remains to be a tuition-free program. So I'd like to introduce our partner at Kaiser Permanente. And I want to acknowledge two partners. One, Laura Flam. Laura, please wave and say hello. Laura has been a wonderful partner in ensuring, again, that we have not only this program available to you, but also connecting to our many different partners on the ground who work with small businesses, particularly those who are working with businesses in underserved and disinvested communities. So Laura, thank you for your dedication to this work. And now I would also like to introduce a very special guest speaker from Kaiser Permanente Mid-Atlantic region. And for those of you who don't know, this covers not only DC, but also Baltimore and other areas surrounding that. So Andrea McIntyre Hall is the Senior Director of Community Health at Kaiser Permanente, and I'd like to turn it over to her for some special remarks.
Okay, thank you, Anna Marie. Hello, my name is Andrea McIntyre Hall, and I'm the Senior Director of Community Health at Kaiser Permanente, and I am honored to welcome you to today's informational webinar. At Kaiser Permanente, we seek to improve the health of our members and the communities that we serve. Total health doesn't start and end at the doors of our medical facilities. It is fundamentally shaped by the social and economic conditions in our communities. And that includes having things like access to healthy food, transportation, housing, and economic opportunity. We know that our local businesses, when they are healthy, our communities and our residents have a better ability to thrive. And the COVID-19 pandemic and the economic recession continue to place an unprecedented hardship on our local businesses. And sadly, it's the businesses owned by our people of color that have suffered the worst. And just as COVID-19 has taken a disproportionate toll on the health of people of color, it has taken a disproportionate toll on the wealth of people of color and women, especially our entrepreneurs. And now, more than ever, business leaders need access to capital, one-on-one coaching, and capacity building education, which the ICCC provides. And that's why we couldn't be prouder to sponsor the ICCC program and to support you all on your entrepreneurial journey. I am pleased to say that ICCC has led tremendous success in both the Greater Washington and Baltimore regions. And Kaiser Permanente's sponsorship and our close partnership with DSLBD has made this training available to more than 600 business owners in our region. This is part of nearly a $2.5 million charitable spending and impact investment that Kaiser Permanente has made to support diverse business growth in the Greater Washington area since 2020. And we support diverse businesses through our operations as well. Last year, spending $27.5 million with diverse suppliers in our capital region. I am proud of the many alumni of this program that have been produced. And they're doing great work to create an equitable future for many others. And I'm very excited that you are considering joining this team. I'm confident that our relationships you build during this program will have a lasting impact on your businesses and our community. So once again, thank you for joining us and allowing Kaiser Permanente to be a partner in your health and the health communities. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andrea, and thank you for all the wonderful resources you provide, not only through ICIC and the ICCC program, but the many grantees that you have in the community, as well as the wonderful work you're doing in supplier diversity to ensure that diverse businesses are also getting access to those expansion opportunities, particularly in developing their contracts and procurement opportunities. So thank you again for being here and for those remarks. And I also want to acknowledge our hosts for today, DSLBD and Kate Marion. Not only does Kate support us in ensuring that you all know about this program, but she represents a number of programs through her organization. And I want to turn it back over to you, Kate, for an introduction on DSLBD and also perhaps some upcoming programs you have before we move into what is ICCC all about.
Thank you so much for that. And we are so excited about this 5th year of the ICCC program because it overlaps so well with the work that we look to do here in the District of Columbia. If you are not familiar with the Department of Small and Local Business Development, we are part of district government and we serve all small and local businesses and entrepreneurs. That is any stage, any location within the district. And there are a number of different programs throughout DSLBD that we'd love to have you get connected with. We are home to the Certified Business Enterprise Program that is a race and gender neutral preference point system for local government contracting. But if you are here locally and your business is here locally and you are looking to do business with district government, just know that the district government spent $1 billion with CBE certified businesses last year and are on track to do the same this year. It is a great opportunity to get involved in that work and to get additional support as you look to contract and subcontract. We also have over 28 main streets here in the District of Columbia. Those are commercial corridors that are specifically supported through nonprofits that we fund. That serves over 4,000 businesses with technical assistance, events, subgrants, and more. And so if you are in a retail corridor, you may be in a main street corridor, you can look for that. And then additionally, we do a lot to help people with access to capital, whether those are training programs, grant programs, connecting people with lenders, or the DC Kiva Hub. So I'll start right there. No matter what stage you are in business, you can apply for Kiva. That is a zero fee, zero interest loan, the best loan terms we've ever heard of, for between $1,000 to $15,000 to help you start your business. And we have the DC Kiva Hub, so my team member Camille will help you through all pieces of that application and through your crowdfund. And you can take as many of those, so long as you've paid it back, you can take one again. And that's just one of the first pieces of finance. There are a lot of other CDFIs and others that we work with here in the district. We can help get you connected as you start to think about building up finance for your business. You can keep an eye both on our grants as well as all of the district government grants for businesses at obviouslydc.com. There have been a lot, and so you can keep an eye to see where those are. Some of those come through the pitch competitions that we operate. So those aren't opening this year, but those should be opening again next year. the DC Dream Pitch Competition, which is for Ward 7 and 8 resident entrepreneurs, our Aspire Pitch Competition, which is for returning citizens. And then my team also does a lot of training and technical assistance. Please stop by and see us any Wednesday at the Martin Luther King Library in downtown Chinatown, DC on Wednesdays, typically from 10 to noon and 1 to 3. And then check us out on Eventbrite because we're always doing different things such as re-networking, trainings, other pieces like that. And so really excited to partner with this program, always looking for more wonderful resources for DC entrepreneurs. And Anna Marie, I'll turn it back over to you.
Kate, thank you so much. And for those of you who heard all of those programs, I think that's a great collection of what's available, but also don't feel overwhelmed because even if you don't know what program is appropriate for you and where you are and what your needs are currently, all you need to know is DSLBD is here. So make sure to reach out and really leverage the resources and the expertise that this organization has, and also their ability to partner with organizations like ourselves or other players in the ecosystem to ensure that you are connected with the right resource. So Kate, thank you again for your partnership, not only in this program, but in the many opportunities I think that we are still continuing to explore. So with that, I'll go ahead and share my screen, and we do have another special guest today. So we are delighted to have her with us. So I'm going to get through this as quickly as possible to get to the even more exciting part of our session today. So hopefully you can see this here. Okay, so again, thank you to our sponsor, Kaiser Permanente, for making this possible, and all of our many community partners here, including DSLBD, particularly in the recruitment period for our ICCC program. So real briefly, our program is not only in the DC region, and one of the many benefits to our participants and our students is that you have access to alumni and your cohort mates or classmates throughout our many markets. And this year we are in 22, so we're calling it 22 and 22. And these are the different markets you'll have access to, again, in your network. Of course, we also plug in our participants in the local or the regional network, as well as in the broader network, not only for this year, but also participants from prior years. We're also in Canada this year, so it's no longer a national network, actually. It's national and north of our border. Very quickly, this is just the alumni profile of our ICCC program. So again, as a participant, and I'm trying to get you excited about this program, right? You can see that you're going to be plugged into a very diverse and also impressive network of other business owners. And currently we are nearly at 5,000 alumni in just the ICCC program. Many of them, yes, exactly. Many of them are women-owned, BIPOC-owned, and many are also experiencing growth even in the pandemic. We're seeing a lot of businesses that are staying resilient and are creating jobs in their local communities. So we're very, very proud of our alumni, and we're very excited to have you join this amazing group of small business leaders and community leaders. Very specifically in the DC community, we have over 300 businesses, 70 that participated last year. We've already had 4 cohorts, so this will be our 5th year. And again, still experiencing a lot of growth and growing again, the employee base in the community, as well as growing their profits to be able to continue to make that impact. But who is ICIC anyway? Why would you be interested in learning about us, and what is this ICCC program? So ICIC, or the Initiative for a Competitive Inner City, is a national nonprofit started in the mid-90s after the uprisings that took place in Los Angeles and many other cities across the country. And it was really in response to not only understanding, but also building the resilience of our underserved communities. So understanding the competitive advantage of our historically disinvested or frankly ignored communities. And we have many competitive advantages in these areas. So part of what we did was we first started with research to have a deeper understanding of the communities and also to attract more investments into them. And then over time, we started to develop programs to strengthen our local businesses and again, to increase more investments into the region, especially from corporate partners. And our mission is to drive inclusive economic prosperity. Our vision is for there to no longer be a racial wealth gap. So that's a very bold vision, and we know that we can do it with everyone's collaboration, and we will see that one day. Now, who is or what is the ICCC program? Inner City Capital Connections is the 40-hour mini MBA. It's a tuition-free program that we have designed for small business owners to build capacity and resilience, not only during the pandemic, but beyond. So making sure that you have the tools and resources to, again, not just navigate these current challenges and pivot, but also to grow in the way that you envision for your companies. We have other programs, by the way, in addition to Inner City Capital Connections. We are the recruitment partner for the 10,000 Small Businesses program, branded under Goldman Sachs. We also run a food cluster program called Cultivate Small Business. We recently launched a construction-focused capacity building program. And then we also have an annual award, if you will, called Inner City 100, which recognizes the fastest growing small businesses in under-resourced communities across the country. All of that is sort of taken together under our ICANN or Inner City Alumni Network. So I mentioned, we have almost 5,000 businesses in the ICCC program alone. Well, through ICANN, you'll also have access to the other businesses who participated in any of these other programs you see here. So the ICCC program is designed to be as flexible as possible for our busy entrepreneurs. We know you have a lot of things going on, so we really want this to be both meaningful but also flexible. So a lot of our content and educational sessions are actually self-paced. The only, I'd say, required portion that you absolutely must participate in is the opening seminar. And then after that, a lot of these components are optional based on what you need and what you would like to grow in. So the opening seminar touches on 4 core foundational subjects: finance, strategy, leadership, and marketing. And then we also deliver we also provide a resource panel to ensure that you know about practical and tangible resources available to you, specifically in capital and also in navigating your resources through technical assistance providers. And then we have so these 2 bookends of live events. We have the opening seminar, which are 2 half-day sessions. These will be taking place, as Kate mentioned, in August and September. So a Tuesday and Thursday, and I'll go into the dates in a little bit. And then the annual conference is a live session, and that actually takes place over 3 days, December 6th, 7th, and 8th. And then the pieces in between, the coaching, digital learning, and also the topic-specific webinars are, again, self-paced. The coaching will take place based on your availability as well as your coaches. So you'll make that arrangement and come to mutually agreed upon date and time. And then the digital learning series, you'll have access to either live as it becomes delivered, or you can access it through our archive of many webinars over the years. So again, we are making this as flexible as possible to ensure that you access the tools and the topics that you believe are important for you at this moment. Now, some of the program takeaways, these are just 4 of many of them, but we want to focus on these because these are really what are top of mind, especially right now. Business recovery strategies as you pivot and decide which revenue stream or which product should you pursue. And this is based on your longer term goals as well as what you need to do more immediately. Capital relief solutions. We know that Whether you're growing or you're looking at stabilization, capital is an important factor. So what kind of capital should you be accessing, and how should you be looking at your internal finances to match that? And then, of course, community building, networking, creating opportunities through that network. Many of us may be the first entrepreneurs in our family. So being able to access a network of other entrepreneurs to support you, we know that's important. We know it can also feel like a very solo journey as you're going through entrepreneurship, and you don't have to feel that way. And then finally, that one-on-one coaching where we match you with an advisor and business coach to have a sounding board and to have someone that can keep you accountable to the strategy that you develop. So those are some of the key takeaways. Now, what are the requirements? We do want to encourage businesses in every sector. We're industry agnostic to apply for the program. We also accept both for-profit and nonprofit. And you can see here, we also look at the location of the business being in an economically distressed area or having employees who reside in those areas. Now, a couple of things that we want to stress this year. One, we do not accept startup companies. We know that there are many programs that are really made or designed for startups, and we want to make sure that you're accessing the right resources at the right stage of business. So DSLBD being one of the resources for that will actually be able to offer programs that are just for early stage businesses, and we're happy to make that connection should you apply and decide, okay, the ICCC program may not be the right fit right now. We'll make sure that we connect you with a program that is appropriate. And then finally, we're looking for businesses who have been operating for at least 2 or 3 years, so you're showing revenues, and a minimum of 150,000 in one of those 3 years. However, there's an asterisk here that that minimum revenue is on a case-by-case basis as well. So we want to, one, ensure this is the right program for you, and two, if the minimum revenue is not met for one of the last 3 years, we'll really want to explore with you if the program fits and whether we can make that exception. So don't be intimidated or limited by that number. The more, I'd say, strict part of this is making sure that you are not a startup business, because again, we just want you to have the right resources at the right time. So with that, here are the upcoming dates for the program. We only have one DC cohort that's coming up, which will take place on August 30th and September 1st. And you'll see here a couple of actions before that. You'll see nominate. And what does that mean? Well, we want you to be able to also spread the word and share this with other business owner friends of yours. So if you know of other business owners who could benefit from the program, make sure to let them know and nominate them. And you can nominate them by July 15th. And then if you are interested in applying, you must apply by August 5th. I know there's a long time, or we have a little bit of time here, but I encourage you to apply as soon as possible to make sure that you're also accessing resources ahead of time. So once you apply and get accepted, you'll also be able to access some of our materials and our library of different webinars and resources. Now, as far as next steps to apply, we'll send you this information in the chat box. And before I actually introduce our next speaker, I would like to not share my screen here. And okay. Before I do that, I just want to introduce my colleague, Sam Figueroa, who is our lead program coordinator for our Washington, D.C. cohort. So Sam, would you mind saying hello and just introducing yourself briefly?
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Anna Marie, and thank you to you all for joining for this brief info session. So I work with ICCC as a program coordinator. So I do a lot of outreach with local partners as well as with small business owners. So as the lead for the Washington, D.C. program, I'll most likely speak to really anyone who's applying to the program, walk you through the process, and then continue to be there throughout the 40 hours of the program. So from the start with the opening seminar and application period to the kind of finish and culmination at the annual conference. And I'll share my email in the chat, so please reach out to me with any questions, but it's great to meet you all and hopefully connect further.
Thank you so much, Sam. Okay, so now I am very delighted to introduce our next guest speaker here. I hope you can see this. Okay, so we are very sorry, my technology skills are not the best, but we are so honored to have Dr. Darnita L. Payton here with us. I can tell you all about the ICCC program, you know, all day, any day, and it just won't really I think have the same impact as hearing it from someone who's actually been through the program, but also is in your shoes, is also you know, an entrepreneur navigating the current environment, as well as navigating visioning and setting goals for their business. So I am so pleased to introduce our guest, Dr. Payton, who you may have seen on a show called Hoarders. Dr. Payton has her PhD in counseling psychology, and she's the owner of a business called Dr. Declutter Life Management. She is based in DC, and she has not only provided different trainings and different consulting opportunities or consulting like on the show Hoarders. She also provides therapy to different populations. And I've had a chance to, you know, have some conversations with Dr. Payton. I just love her life philosophy, which I think really really overlaps with this business. And I'm just so glad to have her here, share about her experience running a business, her entrepreneurial journey, but also her experience in the ICCC program, and most recently, the Procurement Summit. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you, Dr. Darnita L. Payton.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that introduction. I just wish that I could have that everywhere I go. Here she is. So thank you all for this opportunity. I am Dr. Darnita L. Payton, the COE, that's Chief of Everything here at Precious Ones LLC, DBA, Dr. Declare Life Management. As she said, I do offer services, virtual services on issues of clutter, chronic disorganization, hoarding, life and time management. Basically, if you have a life, I help you manage it, and that is my specialty. So I started my business in 2008 because I was a miserable W-2. And I know everyone here knows the W-2 is simply an employee. You exchange your time for someone's money and benefits. And I had come from a family of W-2s. My mother had been a career federal employee. My siblings were firefighters, lawyers, doctors, teachers, construction workers. If there was a W-2 for it, my family had done it. And then here I come. So after earning my doctorate in counseling psychology, I did what most people do. I got a job and I was miserable. So I got a different job and I was even more miserable. And I started to think, I'm sensing a pattern here. So maybe I need to do something different. Now, I hated everything about being a W-2 except for two things. I loved the clients that I was serving and I loved the work that I was doing. Not even the paycheck was enough to motivate me. And so I hated waking up early in the morning to get to work. And that's from someone who wakes up at 3 a.m. without an alarm every day. Sitting in traffic, getting into the building, turning my key and feeling as if I was going to break out in hives when I did that. Water coolers, break rooms, meetings, leave slips, getting back in the car to sit in traffic again and do it all over. So I thought something needed to change. So I announced to my very W-2 family that I was going to be at least a 1099, but secretly I wanted to be a BOSS. Of course, my family had concerns about the loss of security and maybe if I possibly lost my mind or did they need to call someone? Well, I hadn't, and they didn't need to call anyone. I just really wanted to be a BOSS. So I literally, on March 3rd, 2008, ran down to DCRA, and it was on North Capitol at the time. And that's sidebar, one of the last times as an adult that I ran anywhere because my brain told my knees that they could run. My brain lied. Anyway, I get to DCRA, I pull my number and I stand in a really long line and I give them my paperwork and my money, and there you are. I am a business owner. And I was so excited. But fast forward to 2020 and coronavirus hit and hit and hit and hit some more. And so I was basically shut down because I could no longer go into the homes of my clients. I couldn't go into their offices, and my client base was financially devastated as well. ICCC helped me with that. They helped me to pivot, to reevaluate, and to reimagine all for free. I jokingly say, in addition to the PhD that I earned, I did earn an MBA in this program, and I'm grateful for that. Now, Dr. Declutter will help people to gain harmony in their lives by encouraging that harmony between life and work and an organized life. As Ms. Cruz said, I did hoarders for many years, so I've been seen by millions of people, but I wanted something a little different, a more personal touch. So I created a dynamic and transformative virtual system to enhance my clients' BLT. Now, looking at the clock, some of you may have already had lunch, or some of you are thinking about lunch and you're thinking, bacon, lettuce, and tomato would sound good right now. I need you to walk back just a minute. Stay with me. BLT means behavior, language, and thinking. And those are the three areas that I work with my clients to help them to be their most successful and their most productive. ICCC helped with that. I love that the program was broken into these pillars: financial, marketing, and strategy that challenged even me in my BLT. And so the BLT method that I provide has informative and comprehensive and functional trainings and consultations to individuals and organizations. And by the way, I am CBE certified, but ICCC helped with that. The networking and the collaborating opportunities were phenomenal. And the staff. Now, I worked primarily with Miss Tate in the beginning, but I get to work now with the amazing, awesome, and phenomenal Miss Cruz, as well as Miss Johnson in the ICANN division for alumni. And the entire staff has been phenomenal. And that's a rarity. Even in a one-woman company, sometimes I'm not that great and that phenomenal. But I remember during my initial interview where I talked about one of my weakest skills being that I wasn't the greatest technical business person. If you wanted to put the word horrible in there, I would not be offended. And I thought, they are not going to allow me into this program. And then I prayed, well, hopefully they will, because they know that I could use the help. Now, you may ask, why would I tell someone what my weaknesses were? Why would I identify them? Well, I encourage my clients to do it, and I encourage you to do it as well for two reasons. Once you identify your weaknesses, no one can hold them over your head because you already know what they are. And secondly, it helps you to enhance your own strengths. So when the business world would talk about return on investment and cost benefit analysis, my eyes will gloss over. Now, the program and the webinars help me to understand all of that. Now, my eyes may still gloss over, but at least now I understand the concepts. What I also love was not only was I helped by the program, I was able to help other people in the program. My strength is administration and organization, and it was an honor to be a part of a community where we encouraged each other. For me, virtual learning was ideal. I am an introvert who loves being at home. I thrive with structure and I love tasks and I excel in time management. I'm goal oriented and I'm solution focused. It was rewarding to help those who didn't have those strengths, but they could in turn help me in my areas of need, community. Now, I made the program my full-time job, full-time. Now, I know everyone can't do that, but remember, this was coronavirus. And so Tuesday through Friday, I would put in my 40 hours a week because Mondays and I have an understanding. And I would look at the videos and the digital assignments and the forums because I wanted to be a graduate of this amazing program. And I'm grateful to say that I am. In closing, I would tell you that one of the greatest assets is the mentorship. I am so grateful to have been matched with Valeria Lopez, who is my mentor. She's amazing and phenomenal and awesome at all those other things. And she's helping me to navigate this path to put into motion all the things that I learned in this executive leadership training program. Now, to be honest, things are still sometimes a struggle. They may be a little difficult, but every day that God wakes me up, I'm thinking that's the day the contracts are coming and the clients are coming back, and that collaboration is going to work. And ICCC has been so phenomenal in helping in that. And for that, I am eternally grateful. So don't be discouraged. Don't give up, because you are absolutely awesome. Thank you for this opportunity, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Payton, and thank you for what you're doing for the community. You're absolutely right. You know, I forget sometimes that part of, I'd say, the benefit of being part of this is not only the learning, but the teaching and the supporting that you are doing to really for other cohort mates and classmates. I appreciate all those remarks, and I swear, everyone, I did not give Dr. Payton any kind of
It's all well earned.
thank you so much for that. All in jest. And I will say that that BLT is such a wonderful, easy thing to remember. So everyone, be sure to also connect with Dr. Payton, especially if you are interested in being more organized and leveraging those the many, I think, things that you teach around life organization and work organization. All right, and with that, I want to make sure that we also have time for any questions that you might have, either for myself, for Kate, or for Dr. Payton. So would love to open it up to the floor and also hand it back to Kate here. So if you have any questions, there we go. Raise your hand or drop something in the chat.
Latrell, I see that you have a question, so please go ahead.
Hi, Dr. Payton. I just want to thank you for sharing all your expertise on the call today. It was very informative, and I would like to collaborate with you if possible. If I could share my information on the chat, or you can share your information in the chat, that would be great.
Absolutely. I appreciate you being here, and absolutely, I'm open to speaking with anyone. So yes, I'll put my information down, and be sure to follow me on YouTube too. I'm over there. It's a little lonely, so come on over. But yeah, I'll put all my information in the chat. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Wonderful. We always love seeing collaboration opportunities. Does anyone else have any additional questions for any of our speakers? Okay. Not seeing any additional questions at this time. But I do want to thank everyone for being here, and we've dropped a number of links in the chat. If you are, I see that someone has come off of mute, so if you have a question, please go ahead.
Hi, yes, I'm Lalini. I have a question for Dr. Payton. Are you on LinkedIn, Dr. Payton?
I am definitely on LinkedIn as well.
Okay, I will look you up. Thank you.
I'm Dr. Darnita L. Payton almost everywhere. So
Okay.
I try and make it easy.
All right. Well, thank you all for the great session. It's very informative.
Oh, thank you. ICCC is amazing.
We'll give it a moment more just to see if there are any additional questions. And while we do that, definitely raise your hand or come off of mute or drop that in the chat. But just going to reiterate that this is the 5th year that the ICC program is here in DC. There is something very loud happening outside my house. I don't know if you can hear that. And I don't know what it is. But within all of that, we are incredibly excited for the 324 alumni that have already come through the program, excited to see that grow and to really see the networking and growth opportunities. Just really want to encourage everyone, whether it is this program, whether it is something else, to really be looking to be connecting and collaborating with other small business owners. We have programs, we have support. We're going to put you in touch with TA service providers and finances, but there is something that just cannot be replaced about networking with with other small business owners. It is one of the most important things for all small businesses. If you haven't been doing that lately, definitely start. If you would like some support with that, we are running new re-networking events. We're looking to run more of them because we know that the entrepreneurial community thrives when entrepreneurs get together and start talking. They come up with amazing ideas and do amazing things. I'm gonna pass things back just to see, Anna Marie, if there are any final comments before we close.
Thank you, Kate. Well, I will reiterate that networking with other business owners and resources is key as you navigate all the different changes that are taking place in your business as well as externally. So I just hope that you will consider joining this program, applying, as well as sharing the word, spreading this to your networks, and of course connecting to Dr. Payton, who is right there in the DC region. So thank you again for being here. We're also happy to set up time with you if you have any questions that you're not comfortable asking here. I'm happy to have a one-on-one with you, and we can talk more about your business, your goals, and whether this program is the right fit for you.
Thank you so much. This recording will be available on DSLBD's YouTube, sent to all registrants, and we'll be putting the word out even more. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and end our session.
Thank you so much.